Hey guys, this is a live recorded match. We're playing against FPS on Lipany. So we'll see what Civi is. It looks like he's doing placements, but he should have high elo. We're sitting around 1450 ourselves. Ayavids, lots of people playing Ayavids on ranked. We haven't been able to play ranked basically in a week. So hopefully we're not too rusty here. Kind of a tough matchup against Ayavids. Lipany. So I think he spawned over here. I'll wait till our con comes back around. That's a pretty far walking distance. I am a little worried that it'll get picked up by a scout. We can come over to this side. It's a big wooden. We gotta go all the way around that, so we don't have time for that. Okay. It doesn't look like a fully walled off middle that sometimes that Lipany will generate like. So that's kind of good news for us. Okay. This back on here. We'll come over here. This attached to our con. And then our con will come back here like this. Okay, so against Ayavid's, a Keshik opener has got some viability to it, but the issue is, again, if he goes Desert Raiders, he just really wrecks us. But we have seen a couple players do a little bit different opener, so it would be kind of good to get over there and see his base. Here's his scout. I think there's nothing up there. And he tapped out. Okay. That's weird. He might have been expecting a tower rush, and he was expecting spearmen. So he might have like been doing a specific build for that, and then decided to tap out because of it. Oof. This is a greedy 2TC build. This is a super greedy 2TC build. Because he's already got 4 villagers. I mean, maybe it works out. I wonder what he was aging up with. Another thing too, we didn't shift click these guys. I don't know if they all dropped off their food. I want to talk to this guy. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we do have floating 10 food. It's a little bit unfortunate there because we would lose that 10 food, right? So it's important you get that shift click in. He has been eliminated, but he didn't quit out. Maybe he had to go. He must have had to go or something. That's just kind of a weird tap out right there. Or maybe it wasn't because he wasn't getting good sheep. He's got a bunch of sheep here, right? He's got 9 sheep. We would have picked this sheep. We would have gone this way. We would have picked 2 sheep. Possibly a third. Back here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a funky Lipany spawn, but I mean, at least there's access through here. We could wall this, but it's open here, so no, this is a decent Lipany spawn because there's at least on this whole bottom of half of this map there's quite a few avenues I can push through. It's just this is blocked off. If this wasn't here, this patch of wood right here, this would be a pretty decent map spawn, I'd say, except for the 2 sacred sites basically on this over here. But it is. I mean, it's okay. It's not a terrible spawn. But what a weird tap out. I mean, he's definitely going to TC. Yeah, I don't know. He must have been expecting like a tower rush type play. And since it didn't happen, he just backed out. You know, unless he's one of those people that's trying to intentionally drop his rank, which is highly possible too. Let me just check AOE4 World real quick, and we'll just see what his games look like. Because if he's just says he's from China, he's got 1500 elo, 1522 elo, and it says he was playing a 15-minute game. He played a 21-minute game. So it looks like he's not intentionally dropping his elo because he played two different players before me, and they're both high elo players. Oh, maybe not. I guess super high. Well, yeah, the first one's 1650. The other one was a it was a 1500, 1560. So, yeah, interesting that he would tap out.
Good luck.
Okay, we're playing against moi. Haha. 100.
Good luck. Have fun.
Interesting. I think there's a mismatch on elo. It's kind of a diamond one who doesn't have a great background. And there's a possibility that his elo is really high and it's not being reflected, but it does seem like he's a little bit of a mismatch here. And he's playing as Order of the Dragon, so there's a lot of stuff that he could do here. I think it's going to be pretty important that we scout across. That we scout across to his base, because if he's gonna do a spear rush, we really need to know. Like, we really need to know, because that will really fuck us up. Okay, we got this middle sheep, which is nice. His base should be over here somewhere. We got nice sheep over here. Okay, I think this is his gold. Okay, so it looks like just a fast age up. Oof, look at this double deer pack. What the heck? 14 deer right there. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a spear rush, which is nice. It looks like just a standard fast age play. But we do need to deny that deer pack as soon as we can. So a little bit of a funky route to get there, right? We're just barely cutting in front of this scout, which is nice. Okay, his scout doubled back. Which actually means we come over here. Like this, I believe. Yeah, I think we do that because we should be able to get a cutoff again on his scout and pick up the sheep that he's missing. Not that he's missing, but on that, or at least try to make him lose sheep is what I should say. Because he doubled it back before us. So as long as we keep a good angle here, I think we're ahead of him. in terms of our positioning. Yeah. Okay, yeah, see? There's a scout right there, so we're just barely in front. Now, I think we're gonna go into fast Keshik here because I don't want him to get any presence on that deer pack. And so there might be a chance he does that if we don't play this right. Okay, he cut up before we did, which is okay. Okay, it's pretty close. It's gonna be my 130. This is my 140, guys. He needs to come up here. Okay, drop this. Okay, so we were able to cut off and pick up a bunch of sheep. I think we probably picked 2, if not 3 sheep that he would have gotten. So that's a nice pick for us. There we go. So we do have to keep in mind that we can't get a double Keshik out. And we gotta get archery range out after this. This is where we're kind of in that weird spot where we can't make anything in terms of like
Ажилд бэлэн. Түүнийг барьсуу.
Манай жарлиг бол
Манай жарлиг
жарлигийг дагаж байна.
яасан буй? Би зорчсон.
Юм жарлигаар болсон. Жарлигээрээ нүгэ анхаар.
Манай гарч байна. Би нагш.
Хоёр турхгүйда жарлиг ясаар бас.
Би жарлигийг дагмгүй.
Манай жарлиг бол гойчхон.
Багталт гөлгөө. Хөдөлгөөе бэлэн. Би үүнийг бариад өгсөн.
Юм
Айдуугээ яахыг хүснэ юм бэ? Би давхсан.
жардгэрээ нүгэ сугаар жардаг
Сонирдох хүн.
жардгэрэд ядах юмгүй хөдөл
Альбинч энэ жардгийг дагсуу.
сугаар хөдөл Баатта мэд хөдөлөх гэж байна.
Ус бутаа.
Хэрэг биш нүгэ. Би болохыг үдээч бодгоо. Баатта мэд хөдөлөх гэж байна.
Би энд байна. Зорьсон зүгтээ хөдөлсөө. Зорьсон зүгтээ хөдөлсөө. Намдууга жардыг буулгах хүн.
Юм болох энэ Баатта мэд хөдөлөх гэж байна. Манай жардгийг дагаж байна.
Анхаарах. Тэгсүү. Удар. Нэр анхаарна. За, тэгсүү. Алсаа харуунам.
Сугаар санардах хүн. Яг гэсэн.
Нэр тарва жардгийг дагсуу. Жарлиг ясаар болгосоо. Төр амууд сонирдлуга. Агсуга.
Би болоо эрдгийг гэж
Хэвгүй. Мөдөх ширээдгүй.
ой төрөхгүй да. Жиргэж
Агсуга. Атсуу.
ойгт төрөхгүй. Оо айшаа.
Төр амууд хүн. Өдөр амууд.
Ойгт төрөхгүй бэлэг.
Нэр сонирдлуга. Удар.
Эрдгийг даг. Ойгт төрөхгүй хөдөл.
Okay, and he tapped out because he's losing a lot of villagers right here. He's got a lot of idle time with villagers, and behind this we're trading. So this was actually like he knew we had army out, and it was a pretty greedy spot. This double deer, I was surprised they didn't play more aggressively for like an outpost here. But yeah, it's I do feel like it was a little bit of a mismatch for him. I don't think he was like I don't think he was at a he was probably like around 1300 elo if I had to guess. Check on AOE4 world real quick, and yeah, he's at 1365 elo. But I mean, we had some dives where we lost quite a few troops, but we did kill quite a few villagers here, right? And you can see his village count was hurting pretty bad, and our eco was doing a good spot. And we just started trading, so we were gonna start scaling with him, right? These are both rally, so these both just spawned. I feel like they're not. Are they just sitting there? He's moving. He's sitting there. Maybe I misrallied these guys. It's a possibility. So losing my conduct too was pretty rough. But basically, he's gonna get food starved now, right? He shoot up his sheep, and he'd have to start collecting farms. I really thought he was gonna make an outpost play for this. So going for 2 TC as Order of the Dragon is not a bad move because Order of the Dragon does it so efficiently and so fast. But yeah, it can get punished, and he had one early gilded men-at-arms. Where is it? Is this it? 230 health. Yeah, so they're just so strong. But luckily, if there's one thing that we do have is the Keshiks are able to take care of men-at-arms. As Mongols, you don't have to really worry about Order of the Dragon as much as other civs do, or as much as a non-knight civs do, because the Keshiks really do well against the Gilded Knights or the Gilded Men-at-Arms. And yeah, so a little bit of a mismatch in terms of like our elo differences here, but it was I mean a decent match. Just this is a pretty good spawn too for Lipany. And these kind of Lipanys are great. I love these kind of Lipanys because they're got some stealth, we've got some hills, some broken up terrain, but it's fairly open, right? Like these still got a wall, pretty much everything to really be walled in. And yeah, I don't know, but the pressure with Mangadai and Keshik is pretty tough to deal with, and him going mine work into 2 TC was a really greedy play too. So if you go mine work, you're usually doing some sort of barracks rush or some really heavy 1 TC feudal pressure, or maybe a fast castle, right? You just want those techs to kick in later. But to go 2 TC and mine work is pretty... I mean, it's very greedy. It's definitely a very greedy play. So as long as you can punish him and hit raids, He had a spearman here, then he had a spearman here, and he was, trying to keep minimum amount of spearmen, and so we were able to hit in a couple different spots, and that's kind of what you have to do, is look for where you can get damage in, and yeah, while you're getting damage in other places, he's going to try to do other moves. This TC, like, let's say he built this TC under his TC. I mean, we still had to run across it and dive it, right? We were still going to dive this. But if his TC was safe, let's say, like, right, I don't know, like right here. These house placements too, right? It's kind of nice to protect your wood line, but it's better to have, like, say, like a second TC right here. And if he had been able to pull these houses over here. Because if he had built this second TC right here, I can't really dive it, right? Like, I can dive it, but I'm just going to take damage. I'm not going to get really any kills because he's just going to be able to ring the town bell and garrison, right? So at that point, I would have just massed an army and focused on just food denial, right? So I basically have to deny these berries and I have to deny these deer patch. And he's just going to transition into farms. And that's going to give me the tempo to scale a big army and kind of just keep him off of these berries. As long as I keep him off the berries, we're in a good spot. So, yeah, he's basically food starved at this point, and he's going to have a rough time dealing with it. We had 3 sheep left, so that's another thing too. We had way over rallied onto wood here, and we're still rallying onto wood. So I do only rally usually up to like 11, 12, maybe 13, 14, 15 is just you're starting to push it. So the only plus side of adding so many on the wood is that now I can drop a gur and I can start pasture transitioning pretty easily. And I can take all of these villagers and just send them over to deer pack, or probably send them up to this deer pack, to be honest. And I can rally villagers onto here and start building pastures around it, just kind of start making this self-sufficient. And because he did go 2 TC, I would really need to get a good Keshik mass going, and I would have dropped probably like 2 or 3 more stables and 2 or 3 more ranges. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this match. And whoa, we got up to Conqueror 2, which is cool. I think it's like probably my second time ever getting up to Conqueror 2, which is kind of cool. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I haven't felt like a. Let's see if we can't get another match in, because I feel like both of those matches were really quick, and we didn't get too much out of those. So we'll try to get something a little bit longer. And since this is going to take usually a minute, we will put this on pause. Okay, guys, so we found a match, and
Good luck.
it is on Dry
Have
Arabia,
fun.
which is a nice open map for us. I don't know this guy's name. And let's see. He has been a conqueror in season 5. So we'll see what he's like. He's probably sitting around 1400-ish elo, I would guess. And he's going Mongol, so it's going to be a Mongol mirror, which is going to be interesting. Because our playstyle has some benefits and some drawbacks, really dependent on the RNG that happens here in the opening. We're gonna go up here.
Хатан бэлэн байна. Би зорчсон.
Сонордог.
Та юм хүссэн буй? Заларсан. Дагсваа.
There's this con. It's like right here.
Та юм хүссэн.
So we might be able to get a sneaky kill here.
Санарт.
Okay, nothing. I was really hoping to get a pick there. Would have been huge. But he's scouting us, so that's like a typical, I guess you'd say, Mongol opener. Because he wants to find where to tower rush, right? Actually, you know what?
Дагсуу.
Жарлиг бид зорчиж байна уу?
Жарлиг.
Морьсоо. Би наман суу. Бэлт.
Хатан бэлэн байна. Өдөр хотод.
So it might bite us in the ass here. But I think it's probably a better move overall.
Та юу хүссэн буй? Би зорчном.
So he stole a lot of sheep from our side, so we're going to try to steal some sheep from his side. We're going to have a bit of a delayed build order here.
Та эдүүгээ морж байна. Морж байна. Хийнэм. Эдүүгээ морж байна.
And I'm assuming he's going Mangada Tower Rush.
Зорчном.
So that's kind of why we did this, so we can defend our villages from like any spear pressure. Yeah, so see how late his Gur's coming out here? This is 100% a Tower Rush kind of a play. Yeah, there's his.
Хатан бэлэн байна. Эдүүгээ морж байна. Морж байна. Айндо оруулууга. Би зорчном. Жарлиг буулгах уу?
So he's not going to really deny our age up here. And he's not going to deny our
Би зорчсоо.
gold, right? Because it's all under TC. So he's going to try to get his tower up, which is fine. We can live with it.
Та юу хүссэн би зорчном.
So we want to come this way.
Санарт. Ажил
And
нам.
then these guys are going to build a range first. I think it's most important to get a range up and harass
Юу?
on him. But I do want this right there.
Дагсууга. Дагсуу. Би чаднам. Жарлиг. Дагсуу.
Уугаларын хүлээж буй бүлгөө.
Дагсууга. Бэлт.
Санарсан.
Жарлиг. Барьж байна. Бэлт.
Барьс.
Морж байна. Дагсууга.
Санар.
Би энд байна. Би зогсоо. Юу хийхгүй?
Жарлиг буулгах.
Хатгалдаж буй булхаад. Яасан буй? Жарлиг буцуугаар бэлт. Таньгаа ажилнам. Санарт та идүүгэд бараагүй байна. Зорьсон зүгтээ хөдөлсөв. Яасан буй? Хөдөлсөвэ. Цугаар бэлт. Багтаад бүлгөө. Та идүүгээ яахыг бараагүй байна. Таньгаа олохгүй буй. Хөдөлгүй яа бэлэн. Би энд байна. Би зорчсон. Авсаа харуунам. Би дагсуу.
I think his
Та идүүгээ яахыг хүснэ буй.
TC is around here.
Хөдөлсөг. Яасан буй? Ажил хүлээж байна. За тэгсүү. Энд оруулууга жарилгийг дагамгүй. Сонирдох. Манай гэдэгт чухал.
One more.
Анхаарна. Өтөрмөл. Мөрд харваач бидэн. Жерлэг ясаар болгосон. Агслуга онцоо. Өтөр хасгав. За тэгсүү. Ударан. Өрхгүй давтаа мөрдөө. Юу хий? Амар байна уу? Гişүү тэмгэж байна. Түүнийг байртуу. Түр амут хүн өтөрмөл. Бэлтгүй. Өтөрмөл. Бэлтгүй. Агслуга онцоо. Өрхгүй да жерлэг буулгахгүй. Би энд байна. Түр амут хүн жерлэг удаа Мөрд харваач бидэн өрхгүй да мориндоо. Сонирдох хүн. Өрхгүй да мориндоо. Нүтэн. Өтөрмөл. Сонирдох. Атсуу. Жерлэгийг дагсуу. Ударан. Танд юу хэрэгтэй вэ? Би зүтгэж байсан. Атсууга. Атсуу. Өрхгүй да мориндоо. Сонирдох. Сонир түр амут хүн. Агслуга. Анхаар отцоо.
Танд юм хэрэг.
Танд юу хэрэгтэй вэ? Нам өтөр отцоо.
Сонорд.
Сонорд турахгүй да.
Агсуу. Ийм.
Анхаар. Өтөрмөл. Турахгүй да. Мориндоо. Бэлтгүй. За тэгсүү. Би энд байна. Мөрд харваач бидэн. Ударат. Түр амут өтөрмөл. Онцоо. Жерлэг ясаар болгосон. Цугаар. Мөрд харваач бидэн. Богой шонно. Жерлэгийг дагаж байна. Хөдөл. Бата бид хөдөлж байна. Ятх юмгүй хөдөл.
Би хүнийгээс.
Ажилд билээ. Санарт. Асах цагаа бодлоо. Хоёр дөрхөө да. Бэл. Жатису. Эндо оролдог. Мани хаач байна. Астуга. Уулгат.
Царлэг буулгах хүн. Жаа гэсэн.
Түр амут хүн. Би дидэм ясаар болгосон. Бэлтгүй.
Ажилд бэлэн амар байна уу?
Түр амут хүн. Бэлтгүй. Жерлэг ясаар болгосон. Мэр тараач бидэн.
Цугаар би. Түүнийг барьсан.
Агслуга. Уулгаж байна. Амар байна.
Юу хийх? Өтөр хөдөлсөө. Би үүнийг бариад өгсөн.
Мөрд харваач бидэн.
Манай гогдож өгөө. Сонирдлугаа. Энд Юу хэрэгтэй буй?
Ажил хүлээж морд харваач бэлэн.
Агсуу би бэлэн байна.
Баснат бүлгөө. Тайдууга яг
Анхаарна би.
түр амууд хүн. Ударан. Мөчү.
Анхаарна. Сонорд турахгүй да.
Би энд байна. Би үүнийг бэлтгэвэр. Урахгүй да. Мориндоо. Өтөрмөл. Агслуга.
Сонорд тун тэрмэл.
Сонордод хүн. Жарлгийг
Анхаарна.
анхаарна. Сонордлуга. Сонорд. Урахгүй да. Ударан.
Анхаарна. Турамуу тун гэрдгээ сор болгосоо. Тарваа. Оггода. Ордоо.
Боршируу.
Удар. Яатгсу. Бэлтгэвэ. Агслуга өтөрмөл. Намдуга жадаг хөдөлгөө. Бэлтгэвэ онцоо. Ариу гүйцэтгэв. Турамуу туу гэрдгийг дансуу. Тарваа яатгсу. Оггода. Ордоо. Өтөрмөл. Удар. Агсуу.
Би бэлэн.
Агслуга онцоо.
Жарлгийг дахгүй яв. Ёсоор болгосон.
Амар байна. Би зүтгэхэд байсан. Ажил
Амар байна уу?
би үүнийг бариад өгсөн. Сонордод хуу. Уугадарн энд байна. Улхаа юугаа мөхөд үгээ. Сонордод турах.
Хоёр өдөр хөгөөд баатта. Би таны
Чамаагүй. Гардаг буулгана.
анхаарна. Агслуга.
Өдөгтөн анхаарна. Турхагуу да. Бариндаа.
Анхаарна. Отсоо.
Сонордод турхагуу да. Жарлгийг дагсуу.
Сонордод хүн. За, тэгсүү. Хатгалдаж буй бохоо.
Тарваач мэд бариндаа. Турамуу туу өтөрмөл. Сонорд.
Турахгүй да. Анхаарна. Өтөрмө.
Ард турхаг.
Жарлаг ирлүгэ.
Анхаарна.
Яа, тэгсүү. Анда харуултаа. Би энд байна. Ажил хүлээж байна. Би жарлаг хүлээнэ. Жарлагаар болсон. Юм жарлагаар болсон. Хоёрт дөрвөө. Хоёрт дөрвөө. Зэрэг.
Угаар.
Таксуу анхаарахгүй.
Жарлгийг дагаж байна. Ядах юмгүй хөдөж. Хамдуга жарлгийг дагаж байна. Чинээгүй. Юу амар байна уу?
We really gotta get this barracks down. Yeah, this is why we gotta get this barracks down.
гэж байна. Ой дурхгүй да. Жиргэн. Энд юу?
Жарлаг болгох гэж байна. Би зүтгэхэд байсан.
Ой дурхгүй бэлэн. Ой дур гэрдгээ сар болсон. Ой дурхгүй төдөж.
Ариуга.
Ой яахсуу. Андаа маруудгаа. Гэрдгийг дагаж байна юм. Юм ой дур гэрдгээр болсон. Юу хийх вэ? Би зүтгэхэд байсан. Амар байна уу? Сугаар сан хөдөж. Гэрдгэрээ нүгэ оо ханчсан. Ядах юмгүй хөдөж. Сонорд хоёрт дур гасаар болгосон. Юм хэн хугаана морьсон. Хоёрт дурхгүй да жиргэл. Хоёрт дурхгүй бэлэг. торхгүй хатгалдаа төв гойшгол. Олондоо суу.
Okay, we're wiping pretty much his army here.
Зам гардуга ажиглаж байна. Хоёр турахгүй да.
Хоёр турахгүй да. Бэт.
Хоёр турахгүй да. Бэт. Танд юм хэрэгтэй. Хоёр турахгүй хатгалдаа бэт. Жандыг ясаар болсон. Хоёр яд хэмгүй. Хөдөл. Жаргих бод. Сархиг сонордод хун.
Юу хийх вэ?
Танд юм хэрэгтэй. Түүнийг барьс юм хийхгүй. Манай түүнийг үлээдэг үгүй. Хор тарваач бэлэн. Жаргалыг дагахуя бэлэн. Оо гойшхон. Баатта эд хөдөх гэж байна.
Манайг хамгаалах.
Юу хийх вэ? Хор тарваач бэлэн.
От мөн тарваач бэлэн.
Сугаар сонордод хун жаад гисүү. Ойндон оруулгаа. Жаргалыг дагаж байна. Оо гойшхон. Би жаргалыг буулгах гэж байна. Түүнийг барьсан. Ойг турахгүй да. Ясаар болгосон. Ойг турах ядах юмгүй. Хөдөл. Юу хийх вэ? Яасан бой. Манай жаргалыг болгодогоо. Танд юм хэрэгтэй.
Манай жарлаг таны жарлыг.
I feel like we've got him in a pretty bad spot.
Ядах юмгүй. Хөдөл. Хатгалж бол хагад. Жаргалыг оо гойшхон.
Ирчүүдэ. Бит.
Get the curl tied. Let's move it up here.
Ажил хүй.
Тушаал болгох цаг болоо. Би дахин хүнсгэлцүү.
Эрчүүдэ бэлт тань жаандгаа болсон. Намайг шартуулуу.
Шат хүлээхэд бэлэн. Ирчүүдэ.
Хоёрт маастер өтөр гүйцэтгэе.
Удагдах цаг ирлээ. Миний үгээр явахгүй.
Эрчүүдэ энэ үгээр явагдах хүй.
Удагдах цаг ирлээ. Зэрэгсэн үү?
Хоёрт маастер эрчүүдэ. Өдөр.
Маа.
Хоёрт маастер ордоо эрчүүдэ.
Хоёрт маастер жагсан уу?
Одондох цаг ирлээ. Ханд жаа. Сонор мандэр оргүй.
Just gotta clear us out here, but he's taking a lot of idle time and a lot of damage, so we're happy with that. Okay, and we're just gonna fall back.
Намайг хааш явуулах вэ?
We gotta normalize or stabilize our eco here. And I think we go raid his. Let's get this.
Хоёрбаатар жагсмал. Хоёрбаатар бүгд
Шин туршаад ирлээ.
эрчүүдээ мандайдын тулалдах цаг ирлээ. Тушаал бүлээх үе байдаг.
Бидний харваж байгуй.
Эрчүүдээ бид тушаал бүд танд хүчин зүтгэсэн. Тулалдах цаг ирлээ. Эрчүүдээ нэлээгээр явуулах үе. Эрчүүдээ өдөр. Хичээсүү. Хоёрбаатар дайсах шийд.
That must have been a misclick with the villagers. That was definitely a misclick with his villagers there. But if you look at his army here, I think we take this army, right? Like, I think we can beat this army. Even if he doesn't, like, misclick here, I think he still loses this army. Because I can't see it here. And these guys. So he's got 6 spears, 2 men-at-arms, 15 archers, 5 crossbows.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a misclick with his vills. Yeah, that was a huge throw with his villagers. So he was... The big thing is, like... He lost that early villager. So that's the thing with the Mongol matchup, is the tower rush can be super favorable. Like, you can come out way ahead with a good spear tower rush. Like, you can be burning down their uvu or taking their gold and just shutting down an opponent. But if your opponent gets a really good spawn, which we did, right? And we adjusted our TC so he couldn't actually harass us off of the gold. And then we just pulled our gold was to build our own counter tower, right? And it puts him in a really bad spot. And he loses his villager. Besides all the idle time with that villager, now he's losing any advantage that he could have gotten. So, like, off rip, he was off, like, a really big downs, like, in terms of, like, villagers, right? He was behind on villagers in terms of just, like, eco. And, yeah, I mean, he had a big drop-off here. But even if he doesn't get this big drop-off, he's still way behind, right? And we were able to idle his gold. Like, he fast tapped up his castle. He really wanted to get the castle. And there wasn't really a lot that he was going to do with that castle, right? Now, if we look at his production, burning that one barracks, for example, was pretty big too, because it really slowed down any tempo he would have had with Castle Age men-at-arms. Because really, it's the men-at-arms that will give you tempo, not so much the Keshik. And he probably could have done a better job of raiding us, and he didn't really get many raids in. He got a couple of good raids in, and it was kind of annoying. But the big thing was, like, that massive Mangadai is able to win that first early fight and keep him off of you, right? Because he's invested into a spear rush, right? And so his stone and stuff isn't really going to help him to get a good mass out to fight us otherwise. And that's why we were able to really dominate that early game with the Mangadai mass. And then here, yeah. So, I mean, I would clean this up, and then, honestly, like, even if he didn't bring these guys, I would have just focused all of my army on him, right? And he had whatever this is, right? 28 units. That's mostly archers, right? Once he loses those 6 spears, he's in big trouble. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's possible he holds. Like, I could have just committed to just fighting under here. But the big thing is our production. So I guess the big thing is actually our production here. So we're at 6 production buildings, and we were starting to get bottlenecked with our production. There was a couple times where we had a bunch of guys in queue, and so that's where we should have dropped. And that's why we committed so many villagers to wood just now, because not only did we want to shift to, we didn't want to just shift to only. He's got 2 traders. That's rough. We didn't want to commit to only cavalry. We wanted to start bringing our siege ball up, right? But yeah, we definitely need to take a couple of villagers and start just dropping stables and ranges. And yeah, I think, I mean, I can check real quick. Elo-wise, I do believe he's probably 1400, maybe a little bit less. That's tough to say. Say he's probably 1350 again. And I'm not entirely sure why we've been matched up No, he's actually 1455 elo, so he's actually a pretty high elo in terms of a player. He's almost as high as we are because we're at 14 like 70 elo. So yeah, so I can't. It's it was an interesting match because it showed kind of some of the differences with the two Mongol builds, the two variations, and it's not to say that the spear rush isn't good, but there is some RNG elements to it, which make you feel like, oh man, I wish I just gone fast H2. And then there's definitely some aspects like the just your tempo, right? It's just a little bit. I personally don't like. Even if I didn't play all cab, I feel like the spear rush might be good against a couple of civs, like a couple of specific civs. But I'd rather just go fast H2 and get my trade eco going, right? Once your trade eco is going, let them push you because that's really what the Mongol tower rush really was because people weren't really trade booming in season one, and that's kind of like the actual play. So once you get, because you're tower rushing to set them back, but really if you just rush fast H2 and set up your trade, they actually have to be the ones to set you back. So um, definitely a little bit of a different take on it. So we're also at the 22-minute mark, and this is a good point to actually drop a second TC, just to normalize your food villagers. But we were in a pretty dominant position, and we weren't really losing any villas, so I probably wouldn't have added a second TC. I would have just gone production from here. So just the multi-prong kind of fights and taking, one fight here and taking another village, sweeping around the other side, hitting two different areas at the same time. And when like his army was over here on this gold, we came here and pulled his army to here, right? We were able to idle the gold and he pulls his army here. And then we go up and around the back, right? And his army is kind of following us. And then we're able to dive the front with Keshiks and horsemen, right? And that did about, not a bunch of damage, but it did decent damage, right? That was right here. So we killed, whatever this is, 3-4 villagers. And the big thing is the idle time, right? So we killed 3-4 villagers, and then there's a whole bunch of idle time here off of his wood. And he really needs wood for his archers too, right? So it's just cumulative little chipping away, and him rushing, fast castle is not a bad play. I think he kind of had to. So yeah, just a different take in terms of Mongol style, but yeah, if you do have that matchup, this on your Uvu isn't a bad idea, and he might have expected me not to have moved it, so maybe that might have been a little bit of a play, just moving this over and kind of confused him. So there is a possibility that's what it was. So and then food, I was getting on bears and stuff. It might have been a good idea just to like get onto the boar instead, but I guess it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.